Former Columbus County Sheriff Jody Green now faces a federal lawsuit which alleges Green violated a former employee's rights by firing him.
Former Chief Deputy Melvin Campbell filed a wrongful termination lawsuit claiming he was fired from the Columbus County Sheriff's Office because he is black. WECT's Michael Pratt has been working to find out more. Michael, a lot of the allegations in this lawsuit come down to a recorded phone call released late last year where Green was captured making racist remarks against his own employees.
Yeah, Fran, Campbell was named directly in that recording. Green calls him a snake and then says, quote, "Every black that I know, you need to fire him to start with," end quote. Campbell was fired in January of 2019, just weeks after that recording was made. In the lawsuit, Campbell also says that other black employees under Green's command staff were demoted or fired. Green resigned from office earlier this month after District Attorney John David asked a judge to have him removed from office. In David's petition, it's alleged that Green personally engaged in racial profiling of Sheriff's Office employees. We also know that the State Bureau of Investigation is looking into the allegations against Green, as well as others within the Sheriff's Office. And the lawsuit also names current Sheriff Bill Rogers, as well as the insurance company retained by the department, as defendants in this case. So far, I haven't heard back from anyone involved in the lawsuit, but we will continue to follow this story. Michael Pratt, WECT News.
We will